Let's see what day 3 has. Day 3 is called Lobby. You descend a short staircase entering the surprisingly vast lobby and are quickly cleared by the security checkpoint. When you get to the main elevators, however, you discover that each one has a red light above it. They're all offline. Sorry about that, and Elf apologizes as she tinkers with a nearby control panel. Some kind of electrical surge seems to have fried them. I'll try to get them online soon. You explain your need to get further underground. Well, you could at least take the escalator down to the printing department. Not that you get much further than that without the elevators working. That is, you could if the escalator weren't also offline. But don't worry, it's not fried, it just needs power. But doesn't it just turn into stairs if it's off? I'm sure other people have observed that. Maybe you can get it running while I keep working on the elevators. There are batteries nearby that can supply emergency power to the escalator for just such an occasion. The batteries are each labeled with their joltage rating, a value from 1 to 9. You make a note of their joltage ratings, your puzzle input. This is a link to, 2020 day 10. Okay. For example, here's a bunch of joltage ratings, I guess. The batteries are arranged into banks. Each line of digits in your input corresponds to a single bank of batteries. Okay. Within each bank, you need to turn on exactly 2 batteries. The joltage that the bank produces is equal to the number formed by the digits on the batteries you've turned on. For example, if you have bank like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you turn on 2 and 4, a bank would produce 20. Okay, I see. You'll need to find the largest possible joltage. Okay. This is 9, 8. You can make the largest joltage possible, 98, by turning on the first 2. Here's 89. Okay. Total output joltage is the sum of the maximum joltage from each bank. Okay. There are many batteries in front of you. Find the maximum joltage, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's get the input. Get input 2020 5.3. Okay. 200 lines read. This does wrap, so this is one line. Okay. So there's 200 battery banks. I guess what we need to do is scan forward for the first. Well, we could stop when we get to 9, I guess. But we're looking for the highest digit in the line. And then we need to find. So let's create our battery banks. So we're gonna create a bank. It's just gonna have a bank of I don't know, U8s. Actually, should we use? I mean, it's a waste to do something bigger. Yeah, that's fine. We can do U8s, and then we'll just up convert it because when we add it up, obviously we're going to have a number that's going to be bigger than U8s. That's fine. So impl from stir for bank. Right? This is the way I like to do these things because that way I can say here, here, and here, and just say power banks. It's just be a vec of a bank. And then we need to implement this. Okay, our error type is always unit in these things. And then this is just going to be a string that we convert directly into a bank, right? So this is going to be OK of bank of bank. Maybe I should call it power bank. And this is going to be s dot chars map char as U8 minus 0. And then just collect them all up, right? I mean, it should be that simple. Let's see if we get them. We're going to call it power banks. And I'm actually going to rename this to power bank. There. And then we can just print them out here. Like this. So parse lines. Oh, because we need to pull in line parser. And power bank cannot be formatted. So let's fix that. All right, so we have these power banks. So I think what we can do for each bank, we can impl find pair, I guess. And we'll turn to usize. Because obviously it's going to outgrow U8. Actually, what we can do is write some tests, right? We have the ability to do tests. We might as well take advantage of them. Test part 1. And we can grab all of these guys here, right? So we can say let test data is equal to, and we'll just make a bunch of things. And this one was 98. And this one is 89. This one is 78. And this one is 92. Okay. So hopefully this will all work once we implement everything. So this is going to be for test in test data, assert EQ, test.1 is equal to, oh, we need to create the bank first. Let bank is equal to power bank. No, test.0 dot parse unwrap. Right, so this should still work, and then we can say bank dot get, what do I call it, from pair, or let's call it best pair. There. And this doesn't return anything yet, but let's get it to compile, and I'll hit test over here, and we get 0. Okay, so let's do this. All right, let's figure out the best pair. So we need to find the biggest number. And I think I've had a problem before with max, finding the max, because the max finds the last one, right? And we're trying to find the first one. Let me just take a quick look here. So it's self, bank, iter, max, right? And if I look here, if several elements are equally maximum, the last element is returned. Okay, so we're going to have to cheat rev. Actually, what I need is the position, right? Because once we find the highest digit, then we only want to look after that, right? So here's a 9, right? And we want to say after that, we can look. We can't start from the beginning again. So I'm going to put an enumerate in here. And then say max by. And I think max by has the same problem where it finds the last element. Yeah. So it's the same solution for that. AB, A dot 1 dot compare to B1. Right. That'll find the maximum one. So let first, let's see, it's going to be position and then the digit, first digit is equal to this. Oh, wait, max by returns an option, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, so let's sum. And then I'll just put an else, a panic. No digits found. All right, we gotta treat this like a proper Cloudflare developer. What happens if the highest? No, that's a good point. So let's change this. Bank of 0 dot dot bank dot len minus 1. Thank you for asking. Self bank. And then we're not returning usize yet, but we will. This should compile. Actually, let's return the first digit and make sure that it's as usize. There we go. 9. So it found the 9. So now that we have the position of the highest digit, we want to search from that point forward for the second digit. So we can say let some second digit. This time we don't need to enumerate. Self bank of pos plus 1 dot dot iter rev. No, we don't need to rev. We just, yeah, we don't, it doesn't matter for this, right? We're just finding the highest digit, and it doesn't matter which one, even if we have equal ones. So we can just say max unwrap. I'll just do an unwrap this time. And then we're going to return first. Oh, you know what I'll do is I can just put F here and say first digit as usize times 10 plus second digit as usize. It doesn't like that. Oh, because this thing again here. Hey, there we go. Oh yeah, I forgot that we're testing everything here. All right, I think we're good. The test passed. So what's left to do is just put this stuff in here. So we can say self power banks iter map bank best pair sum, right? Because we're just adding them all up. And I messed that up. Oh, because I have to say usize here. And let me hit run. We got 17,694. That's the right answer. Huzzah. All right, Clippy is not happy. Oh, I don't need to put a reference there? Okay, B.1. Okay. Is it already a reference? Oh, it's already a reference. That's why. Okay. I guess maybe the rev does that or the enumerate does that. I don't know. Anyway, this is good. I can kind of guess where it might be going, but I'm not going to presume. Git status, git commit dash am. Oh, git add source. Right. Git commit dash am AOC 2025 day 3 part 1. All right. On to part 2. The escalator doesn't move. The elf explains that this probably needs more joltage to overcome the static friction of the system and hits the big red joltage limit safety override button. Lose count of the number of times she needs to confirm, yes, I'm sure, and decorate the lobby a bit while you wait. Oh, she hits the button and it keeps asking her, are you sure? Are you really sure? Okay, I get it. Now you need to make the largest joltage by turning on exactly 12 batteries within each bank. Okay. Joltage output is still the same, blah, blah, blah. Now we need to do all of this, blah, blah, blah. What's the new total output joltage? All right. So I get where they're going with this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to write the best dozen, and then maybe we can consolidate after we have the answer. Best dozen, because this requires a loop now. We'll start with the first digit. But instead of doing this, we'll say for digit in 0.12. And we're going to start at the limit here. We're going to start at -1 for the first one and work our way up. Okay. Rare use of dozen. Okay. I don't know. Dozen is in my common vocabulary, so maybe it's less common where you are. Not very common in Europe. Okay. I mean, we have expressions that use dozen. So instead of -1, we want to, for the first digit, we want to subtract 11, right? So we want to say let limit is equal to 11 minus digit, right? That way it'll start at 11 and go all the way to 0 for the limit. And we can say limit. And we don't want to start at 0. We want to start where we left off last time. So let start equals 0. We'll say start here. And then what we'll do is we'll say start plus equals the position plus 1, right? Because we found it at this position, so we want to move to the next, right? If we found the 4 here, is it 0, 1, 2? We want to start at 3 for the next round. And we'll change this from first digit to just digit. Oh, I don't want to use digit because I'm using it here. Digit. Let's just call it next digit. There we go. And let mut answer equals 0. And we're going to say answer What else am I missing here? I am not actually updating the answer. that would help. Answer plus is equal to answer times 10 plus next digit as usize. And we're not calling best dozen. Well, we can, right? So we have all of these answers here. Let's run these tests. Test part 2. And test part 2 is just a matter of changing all these numbers to this and this and this. Oops. And this. Hopefully I copy pasted everything correctly. And this will be best dozen. Okay. Test. Hey, look at that. Test passes. Yeah, and so we could just pass in how many digits we want, and I'll make that change in a second. But let me get this going here. Run. Ooh, that's a big number. I think this, if this is correct, and it is correct, this was easier than day 2 was. Day 2 was a little harder. All right. Baker's dozen is 13. Yeah, that's true.